In 1916, Vanessa Bell, Duncan Grant, and Duncan's lover at the time, David Bunny Garnett, arrived at Charleston as conscientious objectors. They'd arrived and really through Virginia Woolf's invitation. She had written to her sister Vanessa, talking of this place in the countryside on the South Downs that had a lake that she could come and spend time at and paint with her two young sons. So they arrived here, I suppose, at a very austere period in European world history in many regards, in the midst of World War I. And I suppose what they were looking for was somewhere that they could find sanctuary and paint and be creative. And this is traditionally a kitchen garden. It was only later, once the war was over, that they started to redesign it and think about the more floral aspects and turn it into a cottage garden. They started to think about growing flowers and creating a garden. They wanted to look for things that they could paint and use the garden as an extension of their artistic practices. Angelica Garnett, who was Vanessa and Duncan's daughter, always said of the garden that it was not supposed to be a gentleman's garden, nor a gardener's garden, but an artist's garden. And I think what this means is that it was not supposed to be tasteful or restrained or to have one particularly strict colour palette, but that it was supposed to be painterly. The garden and the way the garden was looked after was really an extension of the house. So as you walk around the house, you can see all this lovely decoration. So whether it's wallpapers or the decoration of furniture or the paintings themselves, it was all very much their own creation. It was not tasteful, it was quite eccentric and bohemian in many regards. I think they wanted to achieve the same thing as they came out into the garden, and I don't think we can really look at the garden and the house as two separate entities. To me, they're very much part and piece of the same thing. You can imagine in midsummer the French doors of the house being flung open. Vanessa writes about the scent of tobacco plants and stocks wafting into the house and filling the corridors with this rich scent. I hope that when people come here they feel tranquil, and it helps them to also feel creative, I suppose, and creatively inspired to perhaps get out and garden, or not just that, perhaps just go into nature and do some painting.